All right, let's look at pages 21 through 23 of Trigonometry, 1136. So this we're not using the calculator, and we have to use our brains. It actually kind of reminds me a lot of geometry, where you're doing proofs where one step leads to another step, leads to another step, leads to another step, until you prove your point, okay? And maybe you enjoyed that in geometry, maybe you didn't. But let's see how we're going to do that. I copied over here on the board exactly what you have in the chart on page 23, and that should definitely be in your notebook, and soon a lot of them should be lodged away in your memory bank. But let's look at this example here and do some substitutions. So cotangent, if I look over here, I can see that cotangent is the same as 1 over tangent, but I'm going to use this one. Cotangent is the same as cosine over sine. So cosine of theta over sine of theta is the same thing as the cotangent, okay? Then that's being multiplied times the secant of theta, and secant is the same as 1 over the cosine. So 1 over the cosine of theta. So let's see what happens here now. That would mean that this is going to cancel this, okay? And so I end up with 1 over the sine of theta. And then I go up here and I see that the 1 over sine is the same thing as cosecant. So now I'll just replace this 1 over the sine with the cosecant of theta. So now I've shown that this, which was given, is the same as this by going through these intermediate steps and doing the substitutions. Okay? So we chose what I think was the hardest one on page 23. For each of the other ones, they show you one example where it's proven for you already, and then you go through and do 2 or maybe 1 other problem on your own following the same types of steps that they did in their example. All right, so try your best on page 23, and obviously the solutions are in the score key. So I would say try your best, go to the score key and see how you did, compare your answer, try to understand what they were doing so that you have a light bulb come on and you say, oh, I get it now, and then you can go back and correct what you were doing.